Hello! Welcome to my very first TBR video. So if you don't know what TBR is, like I didn't know when I first started watching booktube videos, it's to be read, the to be read list. I don't do these videos month to month because I have no idea what I'm gonna read in the month. I just kind of free fall, no. I just do it randomly. I choose my books as I go. But last week I came across the Goodreads Summer Challenge and I decided I wanted to participate. So this is my TBR from June until August. On the Goodreads website, they didn't say exactly like how long the summer challenge is or from what date to what date. So for me, I'm saying that it's from June 1st until August 31st. And there are two different challenge lists. So one is for beginners and one is for experts. Now I'm gonna try to do them both over the whole summer. So I'm just gonna jump right in and start with the beginner list, number one. So the first challenge is Good as Gold. Read a book that won a Goodreads Choice Award. I chose Truly Madly Guilty by Leanne Moriarty. I've read two of her books before. One of them I loved. It's like What Happened to Alice or something Alice. Where's Alice? Something like that. And the other one, Perfect Strangers, I think it's called. And it was good, but I liked the first one better. Number two on the list is The Book is Better. So read a book that's being adapted into a movie this year. I chose 5 Feet Apart. I never got to see the movie and I really wanted to see it in theaters, but we never got to it. So now I'll read the book and then we'll watch the movie. The third challenge is short and sweet. Read a book with less than 100 pages or a book that you can read in one sitting. So it was actually kind of hard to find a book with less than 100 pages. I found two options that are around like 150 pages. One of them is Death in Venice and another one is called The Turn of the Screw. So let's kind of see what's available at the library and what I feel like reading at the time to decide which one I'll do. The fourth challenge is On the Bandwagon. Read one of the most read books right now on Goodreads, which is the one I chose is Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm already on the wait list at the library. I've been on the wait list for a few weeks now, maybe like a couple months. So I'm waiting for it. I'll definitely get it this summer and I can complete it. The next challenge is Actually Want to Read. Read a book that's been on your want to read shelf for more than a year. So for that one, I chose The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time, and I'm also on the waiting list at the library for that one because there was a long wait list for that one as well. Next was Not From Around Here. Read a book set in a different culture from your own. For that one, I chose The Astonishing Color of After. I never heard of this book until Kayla from Books and Lala spoke about it, and she really enjoyed it. For some reason, it didn't grab my attention at first, and I never put it on my to-read list. But then when I read the challenges, I thought of that book, and I said, why not? Let's just put that on the list. The 7th challenge is In the Friend Zone. Read a book that a friend has recommended. So I have a coworker. She's gonna bring me one of her books, and I'm not sure what it is, so we'll see what that is when the time comes. The 8th challenge is It Takes Two. Read a co-authored book. This was also hard for me to find. I finally landed on Between the Lines. I don't have the names of the authors written down on my list here, just the names of the book, but it's all on my Goodreads want to read list. And I don't even know what the Between the Lines is about. I just kind of searched co-authored books. I chose the one that sounded the most interesting to me, and I forget what this one's about. Number 9 is Wheel of Format. So read a book in a format that you don't usually read. I decided I'll read a graphic novel. I have no idea which graphic novel I'm going to read, but I just know that it will be a graphic novel. The 10th challenge is New Voices. Read a debut novel. For this one I chose Natalie Tan's book of Love and Fortune. This is a new book this year, and it's a debut novel. I'm actually really interested in reading it. It's about this girl in San Francisco. I guess her parents, I don't know if her parents are first generation Chinese or first generation American, but she has Chinese heritage, and she inherits their restaurant when they pass away, and it just sounds really good. The second last for the beginners, the 11th challenge, is Past Love. Read a book you loved when you were younger. So last summer I actually listened to the audiobook of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So I thought for this one, I will do Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and because I've been in the mood to watch or reread the series, so I'll just jump in and start reading the second book now, and hopefully I'll keep reading the other books throughout the year. And then the 12th challenge for the beginner Goodreads Summer Reading Challenge is Armchair Traveler. Read a book set in a destination you want to visit. For this one I chose, just editing this video now and I realized that I messed up this part. The book I chose for this challenge was Molokai or Molokai. It's a book set in Hawaii over a century ago. I really want to visit Hawaii, and yeah, I can't remember what the book's about, really. I think it's about a Hawaiian woman. You know, she's probably oppressed by someone and then she's gonna rise from the ashes. That's my guess, but it should be good. So the expert level reading challenge is called the expert level editions. The first challenge is stay a while, read a book with more than 500 pages. So one of the books that's been on my to read list, and I've actually taken it from the library twice and never read, I took them out and took it back, is Catherine of Aragon. This book I think is about 600 and something pages, and it's about is it Louis V? The king who invented divorce? That king. So Catherine of Aragon was his first wife. So it's kind of, it's a historical fiction, like it's about her, and I think it stays really true to her story, but there's the fiction element to it as well. So I wrote that down, but I'd be surprised if I got to it this summer. The next one is Strange in Fiction, read a non-fiction book published this year. So I have two options here. One of them is Once More, We Saw Stars, which from what I remember is a book about a couple whose baby or child, I think it's a baby, their child dies like after birth. I can't remember why. So there's that one, or there's What My Mother and I Don't Talk About, and I think that's a collection of essays from one author, not from multiple. So it'll be one of the other. The What My Mother and I Don't Talk About, I'm on the wait list for at the library because there's also a waiting list for it, so it'll probably be that one. The third challenge for expert level is tongue-tied, read a translated book. The first thing that came to my mind was Beartown, because so many people have read Beartown and they're so obsessed with it. I was not interested at all, but for the sake of this challenge and for me to think of something quickly, I thought Beartown. The next is No Place Like Home, read a book that appears in your Goodreads newsfeed. So for this one, I came across Her One Mistake, and I think it was just one that was on the newsfeed because, like, I don't know if it was recommended to me. It's time to go to bed. I don't know if it was recommended to me or if it's just popular on Goodreads right now, but it was on my feed, and that one seemed the most interesting to me at the time. My girlfriend, she had just read Homegoing and she really loved it, so I could do that one as well, but I'm not sure which one I'll do. Probably the Her One Mistake. Number 5 is kind of weird. It's called Continental Drift. Read a book set on every continent. So does that mean read one book per continent? Read one book that has every continent in it? I'm not sure. So what I'm doing for this challenge is just trying to use the books that I have to make it so that like each book has sit on a different continent, and then at the end of the challenge I need to fill something in, I will, like Antarctica. But I think the rest of my books are kind of like all over. I 100% North America, I have Europe, I have Australia, because usually Leanne Moriarty's books are set in Australia. The Astonishing Color of After set in Taiwan, so there's Asia. I don't have one for Africa, so I guess I could do Homegoing for Africa. Anyway, I'll think about it later. So the fourth last one, the 6th is Genre Explorer, read a book from a genre you've never read before. I don't really know if there's a genre I haven't read. Like maybe if you get really into details of what kind of genres there are, I'm sure there's some I haven't read that are really descriptive. But overall in general, I think I've read at least one book from each genre. So the two genres I don't read from very often are crime and magical realism. So I could do one of those two. I haven't picked out any books, but I put those on my list for my genre explorer. The next is reading roulette. So read the third book you see on your want to read shelf. So on June 1st, I went into my to read shelf and oh my gosh, excuse me. Because I figured, well, this challenge is going to start on June 1st. So on June 1st, I'll go into my to read shelf and see what it is. Because from the first time I found this challenge, like back in May, there was no point in seeing what was on the third because I'm going to be adding to it. So on June 1st, the third book on my list was The Summer of Sunshine and Margot. So that should be a really good, fun summer read. Next is primary reading. Read a book with a number or color in the title. I just looked at my Goodreads to read list, and the first one that came up was called The One. I think it's a suspense thriller. So that's that. And the final book on the Goodreads Summer Reading Challenge for expert level is Back to School. Read a book about a subject you don't know much about. So I chose The Right to Be Cold. This has been on my to read list for a really long time. And The Right to Be Cold is about, from what I understand, remembering correctly, it's about Nunavut in Canada and the Inuit culture. And it's a nonfiction about a woman, her culture, and her fight to save the Arctic. So I think she speaks about climate change and stuff as well in it. So yeah, that's my TBR for the Goodreads Summer Reading Challenge. I'm really excited to see how it goes. I'd be shocked if I didn't complete this. I'm really confident. It's 21 books in 3 months, and I'm averaging about anywhere from 8 to 12 books a month this year, so I should be able to do it. And well, it's June 5th and I'm not reading anything that's on this list, so there's that. But I'll do my best and you'll see how it goes in September when I make the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.